afternoon.
Todd, looking back at the game on Sunday with the first drive, looked like Devin White, right, with the roughing the passer penalty. That was a mistake on third down. And then it also looked like that he had the coverage on Najee Harris. Is that correct?
Yeah, he had 2 busts on the first drive.
How would you assess his performance from that game and then also just for this year through the first six games?
I think nobody played good enough last week against Pittsburgh. Anytime you get a penalty and a blown assignment on the first drive, you don't come back and play well. Overall, I think he's had a good season. It's still early. We're getting our kinks out. He's not the only one that busted assignment or had an ME here and there, but we don't want to rough the passer. We had a chance to get off the field, but he's been playing well for us. He's active. He's healthy. He's running around fast. He's making plays, and we're happy with him.
With the 12 men on the field, is that just a matter of everybody being mentally engaged and locked in? How can you correct that during the week?
That was a miscommunication, and we'll correct that during the week.
Coach, what couldn't that have been called? I mean, I know Levante was looking for the referee and the guy ran by him and all that, but what about the sideline? You got a side judge right there, couldn't they?
It was a miscommunication, and we took care of it.
Todd, with news that Logan Ryan's going to be having surgery, going on injured reserve, how much does that set back the communication and the leadership on the secondary? Obviously, you played without him these last 2 weeks, but to know you'll be kind of extended absence without him back there.
He's the most vocal back there, but we still have guys that can communicate. Keanu can communicate, Mike and Winfield. He had experience to do most of the things since he's played in most of the spots, but other guys, D has stepped up some. Obviously, we got Nolan as well, so guys just have to take more onus on it.
Todd, presumably Kyle Rudolph's probably going to be summoned with Cam out. I know he doesn't play special teams, but has there been any other reason he hasn't been on the field? Is he healthy or just not picking up the system? Or
He's healthy. The young guys have been playing well. The young guys have been playing well. There's nothing wrong with Kyle. He's going to help us this year. We want him to help us. He'll help us this week. But with Cam healthy and Cade coming on and Cole coming on, you have an influx of guys. So, you kind of got to wait your turn.
At the beginning of the season, when you have a healthy Logan Ryan and Mike Edwards and Winfield after playing so well, Keanu Neal didn't get a lot of snaps on defense, but he's certainly been called to do so the last couple of weeks. Seems like he's played pretty well. How would you assess how Keanu's played?
He's played very well. He's a physical presence out there. Beginning of the season, he was just coming off a bicep as well, so he wasn't really practicing as much beginning of the year. So we didn't really need him there, and he had to get healed up. But now Mike had went down. Keanu has started in this league a long time. Very smart, very tough, a heady football player. He brings a physical presence for us, and we love what he's doing.
You mentioned Mike. I know he was out there today practicing with the braces on. I don't know if he was able to do a little more than he was able to do last week, or if there's hope that he could be back this week.
He practiced fully today. He didn't do anything last week.
Todd, a year ago, this team finished #1 in the league in explosive plays. We haven't seen a lot of them this year. Are you missing a guy that could take the top off of defense, or is it Tom just not having enough time for those plays to develop?
I think they've keyed in on some of the things. We may have to change some things up here and there. Sometimes it's the O-line, sometimes it's the route progression, sometimes it's the quarterback, but we're changing some things around and we'll adjust to it. And it's not about the explosive plays, it's about sustaining drives. You want the explosive plays, but you also want the longevity of the drive and then finishing it off at the end.
Todd, is there a thought to maybe pull in Bruce Arians to ask for his opinions to maybe jumpstart this offense in a way after sputtering for the first 6 weeks of the season?
Well, this is my team, not Bruce's team, but we talk all the time, but you don't jumpstart by asking a former coach what to do. We have our own things to deal with, and we understand that. We've been with Bruce long enough to know what he wants, but they've been with me long enough to know what I want, so we're working towards that, and we'll get through it.
You had just mentioned before he had asked the question about the explosive plays. Is that an area that you and Coach Bruce Arians differ philosophically?
No, we want to score. I want big plays too, but you don't chase them just to chase them. There are parts within the game in which you have to take them and hope they have come through and calculatedly come through. Obviously, we have different players than we had last year, and we got to approach things a little differently and find out what works best for us this year, not last year and 2 years ago. lineup's completely different. Gronk's gone, AB's gone, Marpet's gone, Ryan's down. We got different people to adjust to different things, so you can't really compare and say we're going to do what we did last year this year when the guys are different.
To make it hard, I mean, like, I know we talked about the run game a lot, but like, historically, this is like yards per carry, you know, not good. And a big part of your offense, not the biggest part, is your running back, you know, and he's not a guy that's necessarily going to break it and go 70 yards on every play. No one's holding their breath. So how do you get those explosives or those plays that you'd like to have? We have two speed guys you got on a receiver, Miller and Rashard, really didn't play much, aren't playing much. So do they have to come back into the fold, or how do you get more speed in this offense?
It's up to us as coaches to make that happen and design plays to make that happen. The players have to play better, but we have to coach it better. We understand we're different, and we're making the adjustments, and we'll be fine as a staff making those adjustments going forward. So it's really not anybody's idea or thing that we're not doing. We just have to come together and understand who we are and that we're not last year because of the people being different, and we have to find different ways to get explosives. And that's a coaching thing, and then that's the playing thing. But I think we're working in the right direction, and we'll be okay with it.
Todd, one of the things you mentioned on Monday was that maybe offensively, from the coaching standpoint, not helping Gedeke enough in that matchup with Cameron Hayward. Looking at the film, were you alarmed at how many times you had your rookie going one-on-one, whether it's a run play or pass play, against maybe their only defensive game record with T.J. Watt and Minka Fitzpatrick?
Well, Luke's a big boy. He can take care of himself, but at the same time, we have to help him as well. I don't think you can line anyone up against Pro Bowlers and go most of the game and play one-on-one. I don't care if you're an all-pro guard. So, but at the same time, he's got to use his hands more, and at the same time, we got to help him. But we'll do that going forward.
There's a report out there that you guys are expecting Ryan Jensen back in November. Do you address that?
As far as I know, he's still limped and hobbled. I can't tell you how he's going to heal. He's walking better, and that's the best I can tell you. I don't know when he'll be back.
Has there been more progress with him?
Other than him walking around without a brace, that's all I've seen. No more progress than I've seen before.
On defense, I know going into the season, talking to the players and you, the main thing was communication. And it looked like in this game there was a couple of times where defensive players were looking at one another. I know it's a veteran unit, been in the same system. Could you pinpoint on why there might have been, was there more miscommunication amongst the defense in this game?
On 2 plays there were, yes.
Is it for the players, or is it on them?
It's on everybody. It's something we take care of in the meeting.
It seems like on offense and defense, the vulnerabilities for your team right now are in high leverage situations. It's third downs, it's red zone, it's short yardage. What, do you get a sense that there's a lot of different things at play there, but why that's the case and how that gets fixed?
I think it's more than that. You know, it's more than third down and red zone and short yards. I think it's first down. There are plays within that cause those things, and there are penalty setbacks that go along with that on both sides of the ball. And then we're not executing at the end, and we're putting ourselves in these situations. We have to get out of these situations. We have to learn to get out of these situations. We have to coach them out, and they have to play their way out. And we discussed that going forward, and there are things we're doing in practice to try to correct those things.
Todd, this might be a question for Byron tomorrow, but in terms of Tom Brady having the ability to call audibles, change plays at the line of scrimmage, how often does that occur? How much leeway does Tom have from the play that's called in the huddle?
I think as a quarterback, everyone has plays to audible. You never get one play. There's always 5 or 6 plays within a play based on what they do defensively. So Byron knows about it. The offense knows about it. Everybody knows about it. We just got to execute better.
This is along the lines of what Scott had just asked about Gedeke, and do you feel like you guys have given him enough help, especially with the knowledge of all the tough guys, the interior rushers that he's had to face through the first 6 weeks?
He gets help, and it's not just him getting beat. We get beat at different places at different times. He's a rookie. He plays well. He's going to be better. We're going to help him be better, and we're confident in him, and we're going to play from there.
Too much that, you know, you paid some guys a lot of money, the Shaq Barretts, the Carlton Davises, you know, there's others. Too much that's given, right, is expected. You need those guys to really kind of carry you now and, make those plays that they're getting paid to do? Do you feel like that they've lived up to your expectations or their own?
We're 3-3, and it's early on. Big players make plays in big games. There will be a lot of big games left to play. We're confident in our guys. Different guys have to step up at different times. Yeah.